So fun and games today. Cut a long story short, bit of a mid-year break for the Mille, which is the tourer. It's now summer holidays, so it's family time now. So less riding of the Mille. Noticed it was leaking a bit of oil from the gearbox, which was a bit disappointing. I seem to be coming from the UJ boot on the shaft, which seemed really bad, which was either pointing finger at gearbox or the bevel box as leaking oil. Most likely it's the gearbox. I figured what the problem was most likely to be was that the big output bearing, which is a bit of a weak point with them, that bearing's 30 odd years old. I have not replaced it in the past due to cost. I've had it apart, so saved me right. Cutting a corner, not replacing that bearing when I know it's a weak point. It failed, and then the output shaft starts to wag around, breaks the seal, and it leaks. But that is actually not the case, so that's not what's happened. What actually does look like happened is that there's the gearbox out. I'll show some pictures at this point of how bad the oil was. It was pretty bad. I had topped the oil up and possibly overfilled it, which then made it blow out even worse, which made the right mess. It was going on the back tyre. It's pretty dangerous, so the bike had to come off the road to be stopped. I don't really want to take the Mille off the road mid-season. I'd rather do this job in the winter, but it's not like I haven't got any other bikes to use, so it's not really a problem. Anyway, what the problem really is that once I got the gearbox out, I could see that in the output shaft here, I put some more pictures up, the little collar that is the speedo drive unit seemed to be below the height of the seal. No wonder oil was getting past. As I looked more closely in there, I could see that the lip of the seal had been shredded, and there was all bits of string in here where looked like it was the lip of the seal. So it looks like that seal's failed, and somehow the output shaft is not far enough rearward in the bike to fully seat on the seal. Okay, so a little bit later on, I think I found what the issue is. So the problem is that the speedo drive here, which is just placed in there. Come on, camera, focus. Is it going to focus? Yeah, okay. Was not correctly positioned, and it was too low in comparison to the seal. So the outer lip of the seal was overhanging it, or was just level with it, the speedo drive that is, and it's just cut up the end of the lip. And after the end of that lip's failed, oil's managed to leak out, and it's gone everywhere. So that's the problem. At first I thought it was actually a problem with the other end of the output shaft, which is this big shaft here. It's not, because that's actually floating, so it's not anchored positional wise into the bottom of the case. It's actually just positioned by the big nut that goes on the end here onto the end of the counter shaft, onto the end of the output shaft. So it's just a matter of getting that spacing at the end of this right. So I've dry fitted it. I found what I thought was a brand new O-ring in my space box. Ignore the seal, it's not to do with it. So there's the oil seal, there's the small shim, and then the big spacer washer. And I'm still not 100% happy that speedo drive is in the correct position. So what I've done is I've ordered a new O-ring now. The O-ring might be wrong. It might be a slightly thicker O-ring, or it might be okay. I'm not quite sure. So I've ordered the right part anyway. So we'll dry fit it again tomorrow, and we'll see how that looks. It's a bit of a nuisance really, because I've got nearly all the parts really to put this gearbox back together. So it's just held up a bit really till we get that O-ring, but hopefully gutsy bits will be pretty quick. In the meantime, I've just been cleaning everything up, getting everything ready just to go back together really. Hopefully that's just the problem, and we can have the box together pretty quick.